Last season was kind of a lot of family stuff, I think. We had a lot of stuff with Jane's family, we had a lot of stuff with Maura's family. That's really what I remember the most. I think one of my favorite scenes was where all of the Rizzolis were around the table and Chaz came in and so wonderfully played the dysfunctional father, and watching Tommy and Frankie sort of become those little boys, with those big wide eyes looking at Daddy. That was so fun, and watching all of the other actors sort of relive those childhoods in character. I loved that. I loved that scene, and I loved it got all heated, and Kavanaugh was going after Chaz, and it was just going to be this big, who's a bigger man, who's going to win Angela, that whole thing. It was, I loved it. I loved that kind of stuff. That was really, really fun. One of the things that that really attracted me to the show is that it wasn't just a procedural show. I mean, I've said this since season 1. We have our procedure, but then we also have all of our characters, the backstories to the characters, where they come from, where they're going, what their relationships are, and that's always fun to play because it's just another layer. I mean, I've certainly done the crime shows where we don't have that, and so it's an interesting feat to try and organically come up with whatever mood you're in for a scene when you don't have any of that on film and nobody knows. So yeah, all of that I enjoy immensely, the personal sides of all of these characters. It's what I love about season 5 is that it's not just about Jane and Maura. I mean, we have Frankie coming in with his story. We have Angela coming in with her story and sort of renewing her lust for life and her zest for life. And Corsac, I mean, he has a really great storyline that happens this season. And those are things that, that I think make a show interesting. I mean, it's not to say that we've exhausted all the possibilities with Jane and Maura, as far as what's going on in their lives, but we certainly have explored a lot. I mean, it's been 5 years. So, but this season is by far my favorite. I think season 5 has, I think with TNT going back to that, more dramatic, more exciting, more frightening, more serious, the whole network is doing that. So I was really, really excited to have our show go back to that like it was in the pilot. And it's really, really fun. I mean, Jane has gotten to do so many things this season. It's been really, really rewarding as an actor. It's been really, really fun as an actor. Jane's gotten a lot funnier, and she's a lot wittier. And that's always fun, being able to play lines that are good, that are going to hit home, that are going to make people laugh. I think the friendship between the girls is a lot stronger. I feel over the years we've sort of watched these girls work around each other and become friends. Now in season 5, their friendship is solidified, and it's there. It's not something that they're still trying to figure out or work out. The girls know that one has each other's back and things like that, as opposed to questioning that. Where as best friends you don't question that. You never do. It's because out of experience, out of time, you've had that relationship that you can fall back on. So that's been a lot of fun this season. I feel that she's gotten a lot more childlike. She's not as serious, she's not as crotchety, she's not as sort of in your face. She still has that serious side of her. She still has that badass side of her, that kind of quality where you're like, wouldn't want to meet her in a dark alley. But on the other hand, she's opened up a lot. She's not as reserved. She's a lot funnier. And that sense of humor that comes out is from a place of intelligence and an appreciation for her friends, the people around her, and life, as opposed to, you know, sort of like a kind of bitterness or weird sort of, okay, well, that was kind of snarky. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's because of, you know, her situation that's going on. I mean, you know, life has sort of taken a big turn for her, and you know, she's learned to appreciate it, and working through it, and being scared and not knowing what to do, and you know, having Maura there to give her advice, or, you know, actually even turning to, you know, her mom, which, you know, before she would never do. But now, I mean, her and Angela, I mean, their relationship is a really, really loving mother and daughter, you know, relationship, like what we would all want with our moms. Yes, she still gets on her nerves, and, you know, Jane still gets on Angela's nerves, but it's because they're so much alike, you know, that that they really kind of have come together this season as a mother and daughter team as well. I think that's kind of how, you know, we kind of set it up in the first season, you know, because, I mean, I've said this story before, you know, I've been to Boston, you know, went around with the homicide unit, and they're not all of these, you know, crotchety, very serious men and women 24 hours a day. I mean, they have to let off steam, they have to live, and that's what life is. I mean, you can crack a joke at a funeral and laugh. So, you know, I mean, and that's basically what it is this season. But it's also not that, just the typical, here's the crime, how do we solve it? Okay, the show's almost over, we solve it. This time we've got all different places of where we solve it, if we solve it, sometimes we don't, you know, so it's a lot more lifelike, I think, a lot more dramatic, you know, and again, there's that aspect of, you know, we're all friends, we're all very fond of each other, you know, and we all know that we're on the same team. So that's been a blast. Probably when I'm driving, every now and then she'll come out and throw out, yeah. And also, you know, a lot with my little girls, you know, Jane will come out every now and then, and they love it because it, you know, it is sort of a very dramatic, it's a different person, you know, and so it'll kind of, they'll all three just, what? You know, but that's, I mean, that's fun, and it's usually when, you know, they're being silly, or, you know, I've got to kind of rein them back in, or, you know, we're in a restaurant or somewhere and they're just being kids and going crazy. So yeah, every now and then Jane will come out. Jane kind of takes over like Monday morning, kind of when I'm driving on the lot. I mean, I'll get into hair and makeup. You know, she kind of gets in the driver's seat, and, you know, I've got two of my best friends here, and on Monday I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna go get dressed. See you on Friday. You know, because she just kind of, she stays in the forefront. She stays very, very present until, you know, Friday, and when I know we're done, and then I put her to sleep for the weekend, and you know, and I know that sounds so weird, but other actors understand.